26.3 just got announced. This is tips and tricks. We got warm-ups, we got tips, not really any tricks. Here we go. All right, 26.3. I think we've deciphered Dave's, what he said, mainly because they printed it after because I couldn't understand what he said. All right, basically you got 3 rounds, or 3 sets in our terms, of 2 rounds of burpee over bar, power clean, burpee over bar, thruster. Each set, the weight will go up. 95, 65, 115, 75, 135, 85. You've got to change the weight yourself, which does add a bit of a wrinkle. Think about maybe doing one side at a time, like you do your burpees. You start your burpees, put the weight on, maybe put the weight on before you start your clean on the other side. That's just a simple little limit the amount of time it does take to do those little things. It's going to add up here. This is 144 burpees. There are a lot of burpees in here. We should watch the girls do it. They did touch and go power cleans, moved pretty good on their burpees, and did all their thrusters unbroken, and are still up again it, as they say. Gonna be a burpee workout, I feel like. Try to be as smooth, as efficient as you can. Figure out that step up, step over, you're jumping over, but stepping up to your burpee. If you have to do the one step up, I feel like if you do the double feet up, you're gonna be a touch faster, but it might be pretty expensive. So think about that. You're gonna know yourself on the burpees there. Power cleans. This is a lightweight-ish for a lot of people, this first one especially. I would try to go touch and go at least this one, and then if you have to do some singles here, at least get a chunk out of the way and then maybe some singles. You know, I think for the upper end, obviously a lot of the guys and girls are gonna be doing touch and go, but if the barbell is where you're going to be stuck, think about those planned breaks and trying not to do singles, because if you get in the habit of singles with these plates, the bar will dance around a lot. I don't know, some gyms, we have some plates that are a little bit more dead. So be thinking about that, something you don't really think about when you are doing the workout if you're going for a big one, really good attempt. If you're planning on doing touch and go, maybe get those plates that are a little bit more bouncy, those high temps. If you know you're gonna be doing a lot of singles, then maybe grab those Rogue Echo plates because they are a little bit more dead. The competition plate's probably around the same as well. Man, get good and warmed up for that front rack on that thruster. That's where I'm gonna spend most of my time. These are a trap, right? You wanna stay as efficient as you can, not get too out of breath to where you're just standing there staring at the clean or standing there staring at the thruster. As we're doing this, don't ever go to a point on the barbell, especially the thruster. That is an expensive one to stop and rest, or don't go to failure. If you get to a point on the failure on the thruster, that's kind of no man's land. It's going to take a while to rebound from that. Use the burpees as kind of, I don't want to say your rest, but those, there's no reason to really stop. You can just kind of keep moving methodically. It doesn't have to be fast. You just kind of keep moving. Power clean as well. I would try to get big chunks out of the way, but the thruster here is a bit of a trap in the fact of once it's up there, it's such a long movement to, it's one, you're working the entire time, and then two, to break it, it's just going to add up and you're going to stare at that barbell for a long time. But don't get to the point where your kind of thruster is completely gone. The burpee will affect the thruster, so be ready for that. The pressing will be a lot more than you think. There's going to be a lot of grip. I guess your grip, depending on how you're going to do the touch and go and the power clean, shouldn't be too bad, but being in that front rack does get a little bit touchy. Scott has a question. I'm doing this by myself because Angela left me and Jake.
Would you show them that burpee, the outside foot technique you do?
Yeah. So on the burpee, there's different ways to do it. I used to do the kind of spin in a circle with 144 reps. You're going to get burnout. What I do is as I go down, I'm up here, and then I jump over, and then I'm always, that outside foot is pushing me back in right here. And then sometimes my foot will cross. It's hard to do it without a barbell. But outside foot comes up, and then it's almost a timing thing to where as it comes up, you're up and over the bar. Same thing, foot goes out, face one way. Think about that while you're doing it. If you start doing the spin thing, you're gonna have a bad time. Thank you, Josh. I think yeah, I'll show you again just real quick. But it's that outside foot comes up, and then as soon as it's there, And you just kind of get in that rhythm right there. Stay good and low, and then up and over. Power cleans, obviously don't waste reps. Yeah, it's just gonna suck. I think it's 144 burpees with some barbell sprinkled in there. Manage that fatigue on the burpee, move on the burpee, and then be ready for the thruster. That's kind of the key takeaway I see in this workout. It's the one movement that, of all these, I'm like, I could keep moving on burpees. I could do probably unbroken for the most part, but if I had to, do a big set, take a break, do some quick singles, get it over with. The thruster, once it's up there, get them done.
All right, guys, 26.3 just got announced. We're gonna run you through warm up, cool down, some of our favorite mobility drills for these specific movements. So today we've got burpee, clean, and the thruster, okay? So the first thing that we're gonna go into, we're gonna use all bands today, okay? So first thing, we wanna get our hips opened up. What I wanna do is take this band up around the rig. I'm gonna go high up on my thigh. I'm stepping out and getting a good amount of tension on this band. So I'm gonna put it high on the thigh, drop down into almost like that Spider-Man stretch position. And then what you wanna feel is just kind of give a good glute squeeze and then relax into this. I'm gonna work on driving knee over toe a little bit. Also for our clean position, obviously we're in front rack position, we're gonna need to open up the thoracic spine. So what I would like to do as well is drop this elbow down towards the ground and then open this up as that hip is getting pulled. So for this, what we want to run through is about 2 sets of 10 reps on each side. Stay with this band, because what we're going to do, slide a bench over. I'm going to grab this, same thing, get tension on it. This is going to be our ankle mobilization. So what I'm trying to do is give a little help to that talus bone. It needs to push back to help us go into a squat position. So band is right around the 2 ankle bones down here, pushing back. And what I want to do is just try to get deep into that knee flexion, driving knee over toe, hold a couple seconds, and then rock back. Same thing for this. We're going to go about 2 sets, 10 to 12 reps, okay? So we've got our hip external rotation, hip opened up. We've got ankle mobilized. Then what we're going to do is come over here to get our front rack and our pecs opened up for burpee and front rack position, okay? So we've got band here. What I'm gonna go into is like a lat stretch. So I'm gonna hang out here for about 10 seconds. As soon as 10 seconds is up, I'm gonna stand and then we're just gonna rotate up out of this into the same arm pec stretch. I'm gonna swap back and forth. So here, coming back through, back into that lat stretch. Again, after 10 seconds, back into the pec stretch, hit that for 10 seconds. I want to do about 5 reps of that on each side, kind of circulating through, okay? So, hips warmed up, ankles warmed up, lats, pecs warmed up. Make sure that you guys hit crossover symmetry, hip halo after you do this mobility stuff to get started. Good luck and good job.
Welcome back, everybody, and we are here with 26.3. You have made it all the way through the open. It's the 3rd week, the final week after this. You can enjoy your fitness and you can go back to your regularly scheduled programming because this is it. We've appreciated you guys sticking with us so far, and we have those tips and tricks once again to bring you success in week number 3. So we've got our assistant Josh Gunkler once again. Because we couldn't get anybody else. They were too intimidated by his performance last week. So we had to get the man, the myth, the legend. But what we're gonna be talking about is our scaled and foundations variations and even some things that will help you if you're doing this RX. So we're gonna get right into it. When we're looking at our scaled variation of this workout, this is going to be a difference in weight and then the ability to step over the bar. Everything else is going to be the same for our foundations divisions. We've got a couple of things that we can change about the movements, which we will go through. So what we're going to do first is that we've got our bar right here. We've got our athletes, so go ahead and step up to our bar. The first thing that we're gonna have are gonna be burpees over bar. Now, these are lateral burpees to the bar, but you can face in any orientation that you want to. So Josh could technically face the bar if he wanted to, or he can stand straight ahead and face that way. When we go through this, I'm gonna have Josh get down, and where I coach this at is I typically tell athletes to get into a 45-degree position, and I'll actually show this one first. So when I get into this position, I'm going to show you why. I'm going to come down, and I prefer jumping back because you can fall with style just like Buzz Lightyear. Then coming out, eliminate an extra jump by stepping out of the burpee And notice with my orientation here to the bar, I'm already ready to go into my jump over. Now, the standard if you are going to jump, even though you are allowed to step over, is that it's got to be both feet are off the ground when the majority of your body passes over the bar. It does not have to be a 2-foot takeoff, 2-foot landing. So I'm going to do a skip with that outside leg leading over. Again, I come down, fall to the ground controlled. I'm going to step up with the outside foot. That outside foot trails over so that way I can skip over the bar. When we go through this for our scale division, it's the same thing. Down to the bar or down to the ground, I come up, outside foot steps over, and I'm set up for my next burpee. That's going to be everything that you need here. Keep your breathing under control. You do not have to show full extension when we get over that bar. Now, the next thing that we have is that we're going to go into our power clean. So the athlete will step up to the bar. We're going to take that bar, and let's just go ahead and power clean it up. Wonderful. Notice this is the lightest weight that we've got for our demo right now. Go ahead and bring it down. He did use a power position. In this workout, you saw the athletes do this online. A lot of them got to a place where they got stuck. And because if we start with muscle cleans at the very beginning, where we're ripping that bar off the ground to try to speed up here, we're going to pay for it later. So even if it's a slight dip under the bar, use a small power position so you can use your legs to get to your lockout position. When we go through this, Josh steps back up to the bar, and then we'll face on from the front just a little bit so we can check out his positioning. He's going to go down to the bar. He's got his hands slightly outside of his legs here. Knuckles are going to be down to the floor, and his feet are turned out in a way that he can maintain full contact with the ground. What he's going to do is that he's going to drive with his legs, get full extension, and clean the bar, receiving in that position. Fast elbows so the bar doesn't crash onto his body. If he's slow with those, that's where you're going to get those bruised collarbones. Bring it back down. Give us one more rep. And relax, set the bar down. Now, one thing we do want to talk about this, if we were doing our weightlifting cycle and we were at 75, 80, 90%, you would see a power clean that would work like this. My feet would start directly underneath my hips or a little bit wider. I'm going to come here, my feet come out with each rep, and I stand. When we're cycling a lighter weight, it's okay to sacrifice some power by moving my feet out a little bit wider because now my feet aren't directly underneath me, but that allows me to dip under the bar so I'm not moving feet on every single rep and losing time there. So when we get done with this, the next thing we're going to go into is going to be burpees over the bar again, and then we are going into thrusters. So with our thrusters, Josh is able to step up to the bar. He can squat clean the first rep if he wants to, or he can clean the bar up, and then he can go into his squat, and then he can thruster. Go ahead and squat and hold overhead. In this position, when he's the most open, he breathes in, goes down with his air, breathes out on the way up. He gets his breath again, and good. Set that bar down for us. Fantastic. Now, the reason that we do this, if you watch the pros when they're at the games, they'll take a slight pause anytime they're locked out overhead because my lungs aren't compressed by my arms or from being in a squat position. And if we breathe with every rep here, we have a really good chance of hanging on to that bar for our thrusters. If you get into panic mode, do not worry about dropping it. Drop it, do a quick reset, and then get right back on it. Now, we have a philosophical choice for you right now. This is very akin to the shopping cart analogy. Do you do this or do you not do this? Are you a good person or a bad person? I'm going to give you two choices here. We have two weights. They both weigh the same. We've got 2 10s, 2 10s. Which do you use? I'll give you a second. You can put it in the comments if you want to. If you chose the white plates, terrible. We need to reassess our life choices completely because the gym owners will love this. This punches out the center of these plates. So any chance that we can use bigger plates is what we want to go with. So if you have the bigger high temps in your gym, utilize those. If you only have these, or if you have to make a jump from scale division by 5 pounds, you can use the smaller plates, but be conscious that you are destroying a plate every time that you add more and more smaller plates and you don't consolidate. So athletes have to change their own weight. You can't have anybody do this for you, but the way the workout goes is you have 2 rounds at your lighter weight. After your second round, you can change your plates at any time. From a strategy standpoint, if you get done with your last thruster, you want to come over, switch one plate, and then go into your burpees. When you get done, come over, switch the other plate. You're being more efficient with your time than you taking the time to do this plate and then walk over and do this plate. when we go through this, have your weight changes to the side, but close or far enough away from your bar so that when you drop, it's not going to bounce and hit those plates, or it's not going to be the weight for other athletes. Now, for our foundations division that we're looking at, is that we've got a couple options that we can talk about with this. With our burpees, we can go back to Josh and we'll come over here. We can do a burpee without a push-up. So he's going to go down. It's going to be an up-down. He'll go to the top and then back up. Do one step for me. And then back up. The other option that we have is going to be to an elevated surface. We've taken a bench and we've braced it against the rig so it won't tip. He's going to go down. He can go all the way down to that bench and come up. And that is 1 rep. He can also jump back if he would like to. Perfect. Yeah, you can do the, there you go. You can do the up-down version as well. So that covers our variation. Just make sure we set this up so that it's going to be stable for us. The next thing we have is going to be our clean. So with the clean, you pick the weight that you're going to feel most challenged with, but he's going to pick up PVC pipe for this demo. And what he's going to do is that he's going to go down to mid-shin, and he's going to give us a clean, just like he would with the barbell. Good, and reset. Now, the option that we have here is that if we come over here, we can go to an elevated surface. So we've got 2 parallettes. He's going to go down to those parallettes. That's his starting position for this. He'll go ahead and go. And good, reset, and place it on the floor for me. Wonderful. Now the last thing that we have are going to be our thrusters for foundations. With this, you pick your own weight as well, or we use our elevated surface. So for the example of this, we grab the PVC pipe one more time. We're going to come over to our bench. Josh will set up so that he can, let's face this way and use the end of the bench. He's going to get the bar up to his shoulders. He's going to squat down to this elevated surface, stand, and extend overhead, still focused on the breathing that we've used before this. Go ahead and relax. Fantastic. Now, with this workout, we've covered those tips and tricks. The best thing that you can do for yourself is stay steady from the beginning. This is a workout where the fatigue compounds very, very quickly, and it's a lot of 12s. So you're going to get sick of counting to 12 through this workout, but just find the pace that you can maintain. Maintain your breathing purposefully on every single movement, our cleans, our thrusters, and our burpees, and that will get you through to the very end or as far as you can go. Once again, from everybody at Mayhem, thank you for sticking with us through the open. We are so happy to have you. We can't wait to see those PRs and those scores that you put up. And as always, we will catch you again next year for 27.1, which I can't believe I'm saying that because the years are flying by. But thank you guys. Good luck, and we'll see you next time.
All right, guys. Just finished up with 26.3. We're going to go into our cool down. After you finish up the workout, try to pry yourself up off the ground, hop on a bike for about 5 minutes just to try to get a little cool down flush in, okay? So once you finish that, I want you to go over, find if you've got one of those fancy things that's set up on the rig where you can put your foot up on top of that. If you've got a bench, great. If you've got the wall, great. We're gonna go in just to a couch stretch. So dropping this D down towards the ground, getting into, you should start to feel automatically a pretty good stretch there. If you don't, back your knee up closer to the wall or to the bench, and that's going to add the stretch. So what I want to do is just a little squeeze of the glutes, should start to feel that hip flexor open up a little bit more, and then I relax and push back into that. Watch a lot of arching in the back, try to keep the ribs pulled down, good stacked position here, okay? Next thing, we did a bunch of squats in this as well, so we want to make sure that we're hitting a little smash on the quads, work up towards the glutes as well. Spend about 2 to 3 minutes per leg on each side. And then also we had a bunch of grip and a bunch of burpee, right? So a lot of forearm activity going on there. So make sure we grab a barbell, grab a lacrosse ball, smash the forearms out, and hopefully we'll see you in quarterfinals.